Hi everybody, welcome back to another video series with me. So today what I want to talk about is objections to having a coach. So objections to working with a coach when you are feeling crazy around food. I work with a lot of women who can come to me and they're still a little bit unsure about what it is a coach can do for them. You know, should they see a psychologist? Do they even need help? Or should they be seeing someone like a nutritionist? So what I want to do today is I'm going to pick 3 objections and I just want to talk through them. Because at the end of the day, I am here to help you. I have this burning desire to help you in whatever way I can. And I've been right where you are. And I know how difficult it is to draw the line in the sand between what you're going through and what you want to keep going through. I know how hard it is to get to that point where you go, I've had enough. I cannot do this anymore. It's now time. So I want to help you to get to that point where that decision-making process is a hell of a lot quicker. Because honestly, you can get yourself in that cycle where getting help is just pushed further and further and further away. And we all know that the longer you do that, the longer you're compromising your health. And as I say to all of my clients, the longer you are fighting food, the longer that food has you under control, the less control you have on your life, the less life you're actually living. So, with all that said and done, let's dive straight into the first objection. The first objection is, why would I possibly spend the money to work with a coach? Now, I know that investing in coaching is an investment. For some people, it's going to be easier to make that decision to invest than other people. Finances can play a really big role, and I never discredit that. So I want to just raise a little point with you. What is it costing you to keep yourself in this cycle, this diet, restriction, binge cycle? How much is that costing you? Now, that might be costing you a lot in terms of your health. You might be needing to go and see a nutritionist. You might be needing to go and see a psychologist. You might be seeing a personal trainer to fuel everything that can be a result of what's happening for you, but also what's fueling the need to be in that cycle. But also think about the emotional investment that you're making and how taxing that is. And I'm going to lay that out like this. While it might not be physically costing you money per se, think about the toll that your food issues are taking on your relationships with maybe a loved one, friends, family, work colleagues. Then think about your work. Think about how constantly restricting yourself, how that's energetically making you feel. Is it making you feel lethargic? Is it making you feel depleted? Is it making you feel grumpy? Is it making you feel angry, emotional, labile, all those sorts of things? I know that when I was in the midst of my food-related issues, I was so underproductive at work. I was so argumentative. I was so emotional. I was always picking fights. I was distancing myself from people. I was controlling in friendships and relationships. You know, I had to call the shots where we ate. I had to call the shots when we ate in terms of, you know, when my partner and I were having dinner. What we were having for dinner, where we bought the food, whether it was organic or not. It was just a mess. There was so much tension going on in my life because of everything that was stemming from my food-related obsessions. And then, you know, just think about how much it's taking a toll on your self-care. And by self-care, I mean your free time. You know, a lot of that is dedicated towards food. And while you might be enjoying that now, I really, really, really challenge you to think about that, because I actually don't think that you have a say. I think that you think you're enjoying it because you can't think of any other option. Because as long as food is controlling you, you are basically a slave to it. You don't feel like you have any other option. You probably can't even remember having any other options. You know, again, I went through that. I know exactly what you're feeling. But also your sex life. You know, we know that food and feeling not getting the essential nutrients and vitamins, it starts to deplete our brain tissue. So it starts to make us think, feel, and act in ways that are just completely different to what a normal eater is thinking, feeling, and doing. So it's natural that our reaction times are going to be a little bit slower. We're going to be a little bit more edgy. We might, make decisions based on impulse. And it also can affect, obviously, our hormones, so our sex drive. It can affect our menstrual cycle. There's all sorts of things that start to come into play here. So I want you to think about that. And then I want you to think about the emotional expense, and I want you to think about the actual financial expense. And you'll start to realize that paying for a coach, investing in a coach, is actually a very worthwhile investment to your health, to your wellness, to your life. The second objection is why would I want to work with someone over Skype versus someone face to face? Now, Skype, technology is just the way of the future. And I love the fact that my clients don't need to go anywhere. They don't need to be anywhere. They can call me from wherever it is that's convenient to them. So if it's convenient for you to contact a coach from your lounge room, sitting in your pajamas, or have a look at me, I'm in my gym gear. How convenient is that? I just find that Skype cuts the bullshit. It just cuts the excuses of, oh, it's raining, or, oh, the traffic's bad, or my car's being serviced, or, the tram's running late, or whatever. It just really cuts that crap. It does not act as another way for you to self-sabotage your health and your wellness and prioritizing yourself. And the third objection is, what if I'm not ready? What if I'm not ready? How do I know? That's why a lot of coaches will offer a complimentary consult. And that complimentary consult is for you to get to know whether or not that coach's working style suits where you're at. Does it suit your personality? Does it suit how you like to be spoken to? Does it suit your conversational style? And it also gives you the opportunity to really start to work out, are you actually ready? Because the coach is going to be helping you to open up, to dig deep, and to really start to then make that commitment. Because at the end of the call, they're going to make that ask. They are going to ask you, are you ready to move forward? Are you ready to work with somebody? Are you ready to make the commitment to yourself to change what it is you are thinking to then change the doing? So there are 3 objections around coaching, and I hope that that's helped to answer some of your questions, whether or not you go on to work with me or whether you go to work with many other, life and wellness coaches. That's completely your choice, and that's not the purpose of this video. Purpose of this video is to really help you to understand that we all have objections. I know change brings up objections, change brings up fear, and fear will always bring that little, mean girl, that little, nasty thing that you probably imagine sitting on your shoulder going, don't do this, don't do that. It's about keeping you safe. That's what fear does. Fear just wants to rein you in. Of course, there's some fear that I'm damn thankful for having. If I didn't have some elements of fear, I probably would have drowned in the many ocean swims that I've done. I probably would have, you know, eaten something nasty like a cockroach on the side of the street here and probably ended up feeling quite unwell. Again, that could be my kind of judgments there, but you know, I probably could have touched something hot when I was young and burnt myself badly. So look, fear does have a purpose, but what I hope this video is doing is it's not letting fear drive you. It's not letting fear control you. So fear is not the driver of the car that is you. Fear can be in the back seat. Fear can be giving you all the damn directions it wants as a typical backseat driver. But at the end of the day, you've got the steering wheel, you're in control. And that's what I hope that this video has helped you to gain some control. So beautiful to speak to you, and I will be in touch soon. See you later.